There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to...
And an empty can of...
Anything?
The console is powered off and covered in dust. Urgence over. This old cylindrical... The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down.
That should do it.
Soft covers, serialized Fantastique. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near here. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. glorious day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mwindi and Insulinda. Definitely not your wife. You need to talk to her. I don't know, man. What is the Holy Suzerain doing here?
Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes, not as often as I used to. So much time has passed.
This is everything I always warned you about.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions.
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder, silence. Her nuptial gown flows in the wind, wraps around her holy body.
Anyway. No, Harry. It's just regular skin. I'm not as beautiful as you always thought I was. Let's not get into.
She does not answer. There's that expression again. You have to say something.
The poetry thing is not going to help. It's only going to make things worse. I really have to go. I don't...
I'm sorry. I'm foam. All I can do is foam. It's meaningless.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try it now.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless Faun rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say.
Harry, I don't want things. No, please. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. But now, only boring hell remains. It's not, but... I don't know why I said but. There is no... That's it, yes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20, but I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad. It's not. It's just not possible. It's like eating rocks. You just can't do it.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes. But that time is gone now.
There is a silence. She looks. As you talk, it feels like chewing on gravel, granite, steel.
It's okay. No, Harry. We can't. We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good. Not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
She avoids turning them to you. They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get a hold of herself.
You know what I mean. A little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
In descending order, usually.
It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for years. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until... I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. Oh, Harry, you shouldn't have done that. Call me like that. They shouldn't have. They really shouldn't. I was in Morova already. Safe. Months already. Soon it will be years without the hurt.
The air gets cold around you. She looks down on her stomach, then up at you. The death blow is coming. Black-eyed dogs wander the alleys. Apple trees hang their bony limbs low over the patchwork of roofs. Red and black. Revachol West, the evening sun. She's left and bloomed, far away from us, our vast soul. It's Dora. That's what the voice said on the phone. Dubois, yes, Dora Dubois.
Oh no, 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 no. We're not doing that again.
That was not the death blow yet. You saved yourself. For now. Keep stumbling around and it will happen.
The morning? I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear any... I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are...
This is a bit much for me. It feels like your ribs are cracking around your heart.
Then why are we doing it? Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the ex. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you. Everyone.
Literally all of you.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite. I will.
1,000 times you beat an animal. 1,000 times you've raised that fabric. In your mind, you could still climb inside her bed. Still the only man.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have...
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
That sounds nice, Harry, but I really don't want to...
This won't be an argument. It will be emotional and true. A long sigh, apricot-scented chewing gum.
I am not a star. I'm a confused young woman eating your mind.
The star has gone out. She cannot rekindle it. You cannot rekindle it. There is nothing within or below matter. Just the dull no.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her. For if, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage.
Please, Harry, I just don't have time for this. Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. You slept. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left, on Voyager Road. It was autumn. The first autumn. But Harry, please understand. It was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
It's here, Harry. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the stop. There. You could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you spent training for the militia, my parents' money. The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first kiss, my first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Elysium, it was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me. Talk to me about anything, go, and my crown of immortality. No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful... Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
A cheap rental with mold on the walls and the tap dripping.
Yes, I have found someone. For whom I can feel the same. A copy of my love for you. Only this time he is Harry, Do you notice how none of this is very funny?
She smiles mysteriously, looking east, then turns her gaze.
42. That is the light rail that took me to... No human being should still remember the position of atoms such eons ago. It must feel Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. I am actually very ordinary, Harry. Below this thing you've made me into. I'm sorry for saying so, but I just hate my lungs do not glow, Harry. I am just like all the others. None of us...
No answer. The art, you won't do any of that. You can... A warm gust wraps her gown. An apricot-scented ghost wafts out of her. All the roads will miss her foot. A completely different world.
It'll pass. Everything does. That is very contested by modern historians. You're only saying this because things... You were very bad to me too. We've talked about it like 7 million times now. I don't want to do that anymore.
Your feet still tremble from the steps you took, as if over an enormous distance. She is not kissing you back. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to... Her chest rising like a pillow. Warm exhalations against the hidden, distant, feels like soft fuzz. A bird covered in down feathers, brushing the world's most precious material, reserved for those she lets close enough to feel it. A delicate wreath on her forehead, pressing into your temple. The silver is cold from the spring evening air. Her hand does not return the grip. Her body, distrust. For you, the curve of her spine, nothing, just pillows against you. Apricot-scented chewing gum. The moment is ending, trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you. She breathes out heavily, as if something painful has passed through her, and shakes her head. She shakes her head one more time. The evening wind rustles her hair, blowing.
Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you. No, I'm just Dora. No, Harry. Not yet. I'm pregnant. Yes, he did it. I terminated yours. Don't you remember, you poor fuck? You poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about...
No, this has to end. More questions. Ask more.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. I have to wipe it all off me and be clean again. I want to be a good person. No, that would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. At the cafeteria, dust, hell, and tragic comedy. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and am happy. Yes, I won't see you, but... Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you... Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After... Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Of course. I was just thinking maybe you've torn your stitches. Are you ready to move on? Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really... You see a small metal door nested inside a lock.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must
Yeah, on the console just southeast of here.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light.
It's on. Turn.
Automatic boot.
I think, yes. Let's see.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin.
After you. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came. I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit.
Don't be. I have a gun.
Harry, this reminds you. You're out.
Then it's extra good that mine is not.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his blood unclouded by cataracts. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his left side. His right side remains motionless.
I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in Os.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog. Yes, I bet you've killed a... Have you come to me?
His left eye twitches. With what?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's afire, the next, a fire gone out. The lieutenant pulls his pistol.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
No. Put it down.
Or you're gonna blow my brain. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated lip, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness.
The future.
The present.
The present to be afraid. Cold. Real music. Real Brilliant Cult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de...
Marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
There you go. 1 of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Signal, it was... Some... Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it. Talk to her? God's shithouse. Should have taken it down like they did in Grad. Dismantled it for firewood.
There was something there when he said, talked to her. He was curious. All around you, the air slowly circulates the islet, carrying little swallows and black-beaked sea keep their distance.
I've seen kids lose their minds and start talking. Cities can't talk. It's bourgeois idealism. I don't... How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light, still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. The rifle's in a shabby state. Like on the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangon.
No one said it has to be a Belma grave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily...
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. The right type and the right caliber.
He's liking this.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. The old man keeps following your motion. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM?
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mer, patrol officer Judith Minot, points west. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it's
Always waiting for her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. They have you. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lap. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovi A second for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all... It's the same thing. You haven't...
And this was when?
May the 13th, '08. 44 years ago. The combined might of international capital. All at once. All the greed and terror in the world. Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and...
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideology. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All that, and then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people, that the bourgeois are not human.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Jeffreto.
I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore. It's not an island, what? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And the congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We coalition military called it up a death blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against Iblis? The black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the darkened one.
How does anyone survive? I still...
Now hold on there.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetable.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble puts...
The RCM can provide medical service.
I need to die. You don't have medical...
You also have Druamine.
I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
It's the little joys. The dark joke. A sunshiny day. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missed. I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watched the people of this city turn the lights back on. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could...
It was hard in the Thames.
They were post.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms. I know.
So you've been there.
Sleeping. Some nights.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forget him. Drink.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
An old man looks inland at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it, the new bâtiment twinkling in the evening sky.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. Rock and roll posturing. You're the RCM. You represent the moral. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superior.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in Rene, the royalist on the coast, said.
Liberal reactionaries signed that in.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by
The old man does not answer. He tilts.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control.
scientific communism. A commissaire politique.
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
You're part of the meat shield. The human meat shield that surrounds.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding...
The old man spits into the fire. The expression on his face is unreadable. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism. Or even...
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? I've used it.
Interesting. During or...
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing after hostilities. Going straight. No, no, no. Be careful now. Slow and steady. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal. Nothing comes to you. And in them, a chill, like electricity running up your spine.
All is not as it seems.
Detective,
I don't want.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
yes, that one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the...
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all. The gun. The murder weapon is the scent of blood in the air. But what else? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete. Specific. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dolores. Too long.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fasces. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Forget about your stupid fucking...
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary. Nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinique. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classier's. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like... Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken...
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile.
Everything is brands with you individualists.
Show me the souls, please, Mr.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sensorique, and the size is 4. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned souls you saw in the...
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your master.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods. The prints were his. You can see it. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. You've almost got him. Just the last little push.
Not a lot of guns around that use military grade.
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real...
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. None of those people mean anything to you. The vulture...
You're getting diverted. Push the gun.
So you watched the fight. Did you like what you saw? The mayhem. It was all your doing.
You don't know anything.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? 4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for red. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this, when you have the...
Murder. You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary...
The lieutenant raises his right arm. Hush. He does not need to be put. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death. And that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
There, a hot flash of rage almost carries the smile away.
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. Or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. And so they...
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your...
The old man nods.
Why?
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
Click.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Them. Fucking. I didn't like... Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like, and I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his...
Her body sweating from the drugs, slick from cerebral hemorrhage. The caliber of bullet he used does not do that kind of damage.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the
Past the fell building on the...
hiding something in the water.
And beautiful.
That.
How could you see what she looked like? You see...
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags. Her passport and tickets to Villiers.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth.
After she was gone,
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to
This implies that he's also a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
You didn't say Clausia in there. It was something. I don't remember. Why would I need that trap?
There it is again.
I did. She had a face. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run.
You could tell she was a spook?
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses.
He's setting the bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
He must have climbed to the roof, maybe.
I have my way.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling in rags.
I've been through all of Martin.
Thank God, the lieutenant is...
But that Nook too?
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little... You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance. One more loose end down.
How did you get in there? The hit...
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one. There's...
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stone.
Man needs to feel something else. It helps if you have your eye on something there. Something pretty. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do. Maybe, I told you, I have hope.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came
In the silence, one more down.
her.
The lieutenant nods at you. That's it.
Where is she, that Clasier?
Safe and sound, sire. Surely you have not misplaced the witness.
Gone. I knew it. She'd look, at night, crying or smoking on the roof.
Midtown, across the Bay of Rivershell, the oceanic wind washes 40-story tower. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, while being smaller, distant, hidden. Not like the great. There, on a dilapidated jetty, in a nameless village, 2 police officers. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling foot. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done? Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
A tragic comedy.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in the familiar put, put, put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their pump full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez prolet. Intense, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now, her gun tote. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon or Koyamorang. Or that's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal... We did good when we pushed him under the horse.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down. What was that about? There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Whores. Yes, steroids. A rape. What is my opinion? You think the rich man... No. The rich man's looking at real estate and fiddling his kids.
Ha, yes, but he was there. Why was he there if you can't have an opinion?
Oh, I'm sure you...
The lieutenant gives you a nod. Go on, he seems...
Scratching away at the race question. You think the rich man cares about your little race games? He rules the whole world, and he laughs at your Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III...
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? That's right. Some advertising cockroaches erected a cynical deconstruction of it. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity.
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years, isn't...
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a fat check for it too. Shared with another hideous disappointment.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays...
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revacholian... First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they?
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat?
Again? What have you done for it?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them. But there is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark. He acknowledges it. Here we go.
That bourgeois cow, Tiffin Holly was her name, licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had her called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished.
No, that's not.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter.
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the river. The truth.
Because she was dead. Because the cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal, grasping her tit, and she was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a heading home to Grand Coron or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments.
Be abstract here. A bit of drama.
Huh. It was someone shot her. Or maybe she just fell. I get these violent ideations. My memory is filled.
Another big spike of rage. Different from the one he had.
Nothing changed. Not in the material base. Not in the hegemony. There was no uprising.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal.
Huh.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't... Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up.
The same old freezing. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Every fucking morning. For 34 years, royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack, across the water each day. And that uniform, I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around.
a treat. Better served for later. He's a pleasure delayer.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one. For him. Haven't seen him around lately. Strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope... No. I waited too long. I waited too long and now...
I'm sorry, Mr. Dras. I understand you.
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands, his health ailing.
All human beings care about each other. I cared for...
He reminded him of himself, the same hatred.
And I blew them all. Fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die?
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black.
Glad we talked about what?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, it's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut great leaps of emotion. And also flashes of lust simmering in there. Not too common in people his age. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar. Yet, is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on. Perhaps, but his seems more. In summary, you sense some underlying...
No. I won't be stuffed for...
You said you take painkillers.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers.
Are you sure about him being lucid? Maybe he's just... It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps. There is definitely something hormonal there, whatever the condition he's suffering.
I don't know what that is. Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled. His lip curls into a sneer.
Glad we talked about what? What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements, and the wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you, but... Do you?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads of pupils are dilated too.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very...
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this...
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moved. It's still there.
What are you talking about? There's nothing that...
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in...
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute...
Be very, very careful.